All right, we're back with some more Dan Bacon. Why some men don't fear being rejected by a woman. This is part 3. Let's get it going.
Brutal. And if other people see it, then I'm going to be humiliated in front of everyone. Yet the reality is that if it was that bad, then no guy would get any action with women, and no average guy or no everyday sort of guy would have a girlfriend, but they do. And, it would just be a really strange world if women were that vicious and that mean, like in the movies, for example, where they tip a drink in a guy's face for coming over and talking to her or something like that. It just doesn't work like that in real life.
I've never experienced that. I've never seen that happening at all. Yeah, like rejection. Women are typically incredibly kind when rejecting men. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend." I live in Canada, so maybe. But really, most of the women I've ever asked out are in America, to be honest. But they're incredibly nice, incredibly kind. It shouldn't be a traumatic experience being rejected. You're automatically disqualified from most women anyway because they're already with somebody, or they're into women, or they're just not looking to date right now. It's how it is, or they're just not into you. So you're mostly going to get rejected. That's how it is for every person.
So if a guy bases his fear on bad experiences that have happened to him in the past or what he thinks will happen, then it's not going to go away. He's not going to conquer his fear of rejection. Right? So the second one is he doesn't try a new effective approach, so the rejections continue. So, for example, some guys who get rejected by women when they're single, and I'll talk about relationships in a second, but some guys who get rejected by women when they're single tend to use what I call a friends first approach, where the guy just wants to try to develop some sort of friendship with her and get along with her, and just show her that he's an innocent, good guy, just wants to have a chat, get to know her. Oh,
If you get friend zoned, you've put yourself there. Like he's saying, you've set yourself up to be a friend. Why are you doing that? If you're getting close with the woman at all that you're interested in, you need to be asking her out like within, let's break it down in terms of hours of your interacting with them. It needs to be in the first 24 hours of interaction with them. You should not be spending 24 hours interacting with them, and that could be in person, on the phone, more so definitely in person, right? 24 hours, if let's say in person, 24 hours go by and you haven't made a move, that's a lot, right? Because usually when you hang out with somebody, it's for a couple of hours. Even 24 hours is a lot when I think about it. Let's say 12 hours. If you've spent 12 hours, even if it's in a group context, and you haven't made a move, then you've pretty much failed your time frame to make a move. They're gonna think you're just not into them.
you do that for a living? Oh, how long you been doing that? That's great. And oh, wow, that's really
You've put yourself into the friend zone.
impressive and so forth. He just wants to do that. Yet, as a result of using that approach, the woman feels like she's just talking to a friend or a co-worker or just some nice person. And there's no sexual connection between him and her. So when he then tries to ask for a phone number or move in for a kiss, she recoils and she's...
And let's talk about the friend zone. This kind of took a turn, right? So you need to take, when you make your move, you could be put into the friend zone, but you need to not allow yourself to be in the friend zone. The friend zone is basically you become a simp for the woman. Just don't become a simp. Don't simp for her. You can make it clear that you're attracted to her and maybe something will happen down the road. That's how all these women have all these guys right there ready to go, on the sidelines, is because those guys did this, where it's all right, well, it's complicated because you don't use exact words. You don't you don't spell it out in clear language that, hey, Like maybe you'll become single down the road and maybe we'll get together later. You don't like flat out say that. It's kind of like this unspoken thing, but you can kind of like do clear things, right? Like you don't want to become best friends with her. It's kind of like the best friend zone is how you get in the friend zone is you want to get closer and closer to the person and you want to be friends with them and it are like you ultimately you don't, but that's how you're treating it. Like you really want to be friends with them, you really want to get close with them, you're talking to them all the time when really you should be building distance. You should be not giving them attention because then and you can still exist as their friend and not give them a ton of attention where and they're gonna know, right? Because you've already asked them out, you've already made it clear that you're very interested in them, and you aren't gonna tell them why, right? Because from the woman's perspective, if you say you like you make a move and it doesn't work out and then you pull back, you can still be friends. Maybe you exist in a friend group and you're just pulling back. Like you're like not like never talking to her, but like you're not, because you want to be talking to her on occasion and having riz and still building a rapport and attraction. But you can do so in such a way where you're actually pulling back and never let her know what you like about her, right? Never. Because she's going to wonder. You want to build mystery upon yourself and you want her to wonder, all right, why does that guy like me? All right? Like, does he even still like me? He's pulled back. It seems like he doesn't like me. What did he like about me? Like, she's going to wonder that and attraction is going to naturally build, right? But the thing is, you're never pushing forward this idea of a close friendship, of like a best friendship. That's what a lot of guys do. So they're putting themselves into the friend zone. They're putting themselves in a position to be used and abused. And like it's not even manipulation to a point, because like, guys, you got to understand what you're doing. You got to not put yourself, it's like you're forcing yourself into this close friendship because you just really hope that it will lead into a relationship down the road, when actually it's way more likely to lead to a relationship if you pull back, because she's going to wonder, what did you like about her? Do you still like her? And she's going to know that you're attracted to her on some level, and maybe that's enough. That's enough. That can like fester over time where she's like, you know what, this guy's into me. And for no reason, as time goes on, she just like, maybe she has a dream about you down the road, a kinky dream or whatever, and just because she knows that you're interested in her to some extent, and she's gonna have so much more respect for you, and genuine like interest in you can build if you pull away. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're in the friend zone, you put yourself there.
It's like, oh no, sorry if I gave you the wrong impression, right? Because she's not feeling attracted to him, right? He doesn't understand that as a man, sometimes you'll meet a woman and she'll instantly feel attracted to you even though you haven't done anything. But in every other case, if you want a woman, you have to make her feel attracted to you. You have to create feelings of attraction inside of her by actively displaying traits that are naturally attractive to women, such as confidence, masculinity, charm, charisma, humor, or social intelligence. You don't...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Finally, somebody else says it. That's what I've been saying this whole time. And humor is a huge part of it. It's like one of the biggest cheat codes is just like being funny, being easygoing, and being funny deeply ties into being confident and charming. Right? Like, that's part of being funny, is putting yourself out there. It's being self-deprecating. It's being willing to like joke about whatever and being like open-minded and putting yourself out there, right? Because making a joke, right? Trying to be funny. Sometimes you ain't always going to be funny. It takes some like skill, and it takes risk, right? Because if you tell a joke and it's lame as shit, you risk being unfunny, right? Like there's an inherent like risk to it. So to even try to be funny requires confidence. but it really isn't that hard to do, right? Um, like being funny, I've over the years I've realized is easier. You can just like make recurring jokes. You can like have just you can just say things weird and be weird, and it's just going to be funny. It's really not that hard. I don't really express it that much on this channel. Like I'm not really ever trying to be funny because usually I'm trying to make a point. But like in my personal life, especially when I'm out with women, oh my god, like totally, I'm a totally different person. But yeah, it's your responsibility to be charismatic, to be charming, and to be funny, because that's gonna like why wouldn't you want the woman that you're with to be having fun, to be laughing? Yeah, tell some dad jokes. It's easy. So I'll see you in part 4.